Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the part 3 of the Notion tutorial series. If you haven't seen the other parts, I'll leave a card in the upper right of the series playlist. So today we're gonna focus on the board feature of Notion and what you can do with it. It's pretty short, so let's get into it. Hi, it's the laptop recording again. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the Kanban board, or as it's called in Notion, just the board. So you get it on the page by doing / and then just typing board, and then you'll see board inline and board full page, or you can just on the / screen you can just scroll all the way down to where it is. So the one I'm using right now is an inline board, so this is what it looks like. If you want a full page board, and then it just goes like that, so you know the entire page is the board, but it leaves something like that on the normal page. So actually, when you look at the Kanban board, like normal databases in Notion, each card is its own page and you can add whatever you want on each page. It doesn't really show unless you want it to. So what is the Kanban board for? As you can see, it has like 3 options: not started, progress, or in progress, and then completed. Because this is supposedly used as like a progress tracker for a lot of different things. So you can use this to track tasks. So for example, you got homework 1 and you're like, yeah, I haven't started homework 1. So actually, if you've seen, you can transfer cards from each to the other so that you can, keep moving things, and then when it's done, you put it over here like that. You can also do the same thing for these headers. So you can actually drag them around to see like that. So it doesn't have to be like a task list necessarily, or like a task tracker. So just keep moving it around, and you can actually use it for a lot of different things. But let me go over the general features of this first. So if we have it here, right, you can click on these, then you can change the name of it, go over here, and then you can change the color. Then you can also change the card by the property. So for example, if we have it in the no status zone over here, like that, if we say homework 1, you click on it, right? You see the whole page, you see the property status. So when you see the property status, what you can do is you can click on it and then put it under, for example, in progress. If you put it in progress, you can see that you don't have to drag it to in progress anymore. It automatically just goes there. And that's a really cool thing about the properties, is that this status is exactly the same as this. So for example, you can also use assign, which is like if you have other people on the Notion page, you can click and then their names can be like assigned to it and you actually see their names displayed. But since this is my personal Notion, if I click on this, you're going to see like emails of the people that I know, so we don't want that. So if for example you're here on homework 1 and then you want to add, for example, another thing, so go over here and you go usually it's easier to do select or multi-select, because that really helps with the sorting in terms of if you want it to be like one of the groups. So for example, we have multi-select, and then we'll call this due date. So if you're actually doing homework and you have a due date / due time that you need to do, you can actually go over here, and then for example, today is, when I'm recording this, it's actually September 5. So let's say September 6. So if you have that due date, and then you have, homework 1 is due on September 6, homework 2 is September 7, and then homework 3 is like September 8. Or actually, let's say it's September 6 also. So like that. Now I can show you the group stuff by property. So if you go over in this 3 dots little area over here, click it, you'll see properties, right? So if you have properties, you have this. So if you want to actually see the due dates, you can turn it on by pushing due date. And now you can see the deadlines of your, for example, these are your example homeworks or something, if you actually want to use it for a task list. Now, you can actually display their status too if you want, but that's kind of a bit useless since it's already displayed on top. So card preview, you can actually show the content of the page or the cover of the page. So it's kind of like the tile gallery, if you've seen that before. And then you can also change the card size to like, large makes it longer, small makes it shorter. And then you can add how many stuff you want all the way down. So it can also change how many you're going to display at once. So if you see this, and you see September 6, September 6, September 7, you can actually sort it or filter it. So for example, it's a lot easier in coding wise to say when status is not completed, you show it, right? So if once we move card 2, for example, or card 3 to completed, it shouldn't show up anymore. So it just disappears and you won't have to worry about it. You won't have like this giant list of like all over here, like on this completed tab, like 200 or something. So that's what a filter does for this. You can delete it like that. And then you can also, for example, sort it by due date and then ascending. So if we put all of these here like that, you can sort it, you know, like board view. Or since you can drag it anyway, you can just sort it however you want. Oh, actually, since it's, you know, sorted already, it has a pre-set sort, you can't actually like shuffle this around. It'll stay like this. So if you want to see what's due first, what's due next, and in order of priority, you can do it like this. So you can just delete that. And then now you can, like, you know, move it around again freely. So the next is group by. So now you're grouping it by the status of it, like which one you've started, which ones are in progress, and which one's finished. But if you want to group it by due date, you can just go like that. And then you'll see that these are due September 6, these are due September 7. So if you want to see it in a different view, you can do that and just see like how many things you have due on this day, how many things you have due on another day. And then this is the time when you can actually add the status. So you can see that like, oh, all of these are in progress. So if you want to change it up and, you know, do it like this or group by status, then you can see it, let it load, and it comes like that. So that is basically what you do. And if you want to add another group, sure, just other group over here. And then you can just still drag things over there. And that's how it works. So if, for example, if you have like something with multiple steps or something, or yeah, like you're making a paper and you're like, oh, I have to make this paper. I've done the outline, I've done the research. So you can kind of customize this to however you want. So what are the other things you can use the board for instead of just tracking your tasks? Well, I will show you maybe two very related things that you can do with the Kanban board feature. So if we go over to my templates, which you can actually find in the description if you really want to get some templates. First thing I'm going to show you is my minimal design database, which you're going to see. It's one of my, I think it is my most viewed video on this channel. So if you look at class schedule, this is a Kanban board. So you can see that I moved the hidden, or actually hid the no label column. So you can just see it like this. So this was my class schedule last semester. So you can see this is basically a Kanban board. If you click on it, I used the page system to put all the info inside that. So I can click here, I can also click here, and then it has the time displayed for my class. So there you go. And then you can just, you know, look through your class schedule like this. So this is basically a pretty good use for the Kanban board, since, you know, it's a little bit, like, it's a little smaller than you kind of expect like a schedule to be, and you don't have to make like a full picture schedule and just attach the picture onto the page. You can just have it like this. And then the special template for the video that I usually have when I make one of these is the Kanban board weekly planner. So if you've seen me, you would know that not seen me, but like if you've seen like the Plan With Me videos, you would know that I really like my time spreads, especially when it comes to class. So for those of you who want digital planning but still have the same like need for time spreads that I do, you can actually do it like this. So it's like a, you know, like a giant Kanban board, and it's basically just a digital version of the vertical spreads that I use. So I have this one, which is, I call it the full weekly, which basically means it's preset with basically boxes for every hour. And if you want to change it, for example, your first class isn't at 8, it's at 8:30, click on this, and then I already preset it with half-hour increments, like that. If you want to add like 8:30, 9:30, like put increments in between these two, you can do that. You can just add another one like this, and then, you know, drag it over here. Then put your time to 8:30. And there, you have a new little 8:30 in between. And then when you have something planned for it, for example, we'll have 8:30 first class. there. So it'll just say your first class is at 8:30, and then you can just plan it all the way down. And then when you don't want this anymore, when you're done with it, you can actually delete it, use this add new full weekly, and it adds, if you wait a little bit because it has a lot of data, it's gonna add another full one for you. So you can just do it for any other day like that, and it's just, you know, all the way down to midnight, and then you can just use it to plan. And then I have this other one, which I call the Bear Weekly, which is for those of you who don't want this full, like, hourly kind of play-by-play type of thing, and just click on the new under each day, and then add what you want to do and when you want to do it. So, for example, Monday, I have a meeting, right? You click on this, you have a meeting at 10 a.m. And then you can add, like, a topic. So if you're juggling a lot of things, like if you have like a part-time job or something, if you're doing something else, you can actually change it by topic and then just show it. So for me, I'm not sure if you guys have your own channel, but I would usually include my channel here, but I preset it with general academic stuff, personal, and fun. You can also add your subjects here. So you just, for example, you have like an English class. Oops, English, there you go. So if you have like a meeting for your English class, you just go like that. Then you don't see it, right? So you just go to properties and just turn on topic. So you'll see, oh, okay, so I have a meeting at 10 a.m. for my English class. Or you're gonna like hang out with family. And then just put it as personal at like noon. Then you'll see that too. And then you can just, you know, do the same thing, delete this, push this one, just, you know, push the template button, and then it'll generate a new one. But that would delete your previous data. So if you want to keep it, you can keep it like on a separate page or something. So if I go slash and then you see the page, right? You can have this as your archive. Oh, there you go. So you have this as your archive. So once you're done with this, you can just drag it into your archive, add a new one, and then this exists separately. So you can just rename this by like weekly planner, and then you add like a week of like what days it spans to, and then you can just have like a giant list of like stuff you've done for the week. So that's how you can actually use this like Kanban board Notion weekly planner, which I feel like is pretty fun, pretty helpful. It's actually like a super simple thing to do. You can make your own, you can customize it how you want. So, you know, like top day, time, topic, you can add subjects, you can add like details, more details about it if you click here and just add the details of the stuff you're gonna do. And then you can just, you know, customize it to your heart's content. Maybe even like change up these colors to make it like a fun rainbow or a gradient or just monochrome if you want. There's a lot of ways to actually use this. And for example, if we go back to like this archive, and then you're like, oh wait, my family hangout has been, or like my personal family hangout was moved to Wednesday. All you have to do is just drag it over, and you're like, oh okay, done. So it actually is a pretty good digital replacement for one of those like time spreads, as long as you look at it. And yeah, I think this is it for the Kanban board. It's a pretty simple thing that you can apply in many different ways. And then if you have more ideas for what to do with this Kanban board, you can leave them in the comments for other people to check out. So yeah, I hope you guys really liked today's tutorial. The Kanban board is really super simple to use, but it's something that's so flexible for things that you need to do that just really need that reorganizing feature. Again, if you have any ideas about how to use the Kanban board in different ways, leave them in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos like this from me, then hit the subscribe button and the bell to know when a new video is out. I try to upload every week, Monday nights at 8. I guess that's all for this video. Bye guys!